Welcome to Trusty Tackle Tips first rig tutorial. This is for tying an up and over pulley rig. Great for cod fishing or any fish that feed near the bottom. It's also clip down, so good for distance casting. So the diagram here shows all the terminal tackle needed, so feel free to pause and carry on when you're ready. So we start by tying the top link to the trace, the main line, and I'm using the knot that we showed you how to do in our very first Trusty Tackle Tips tutorial. So it's through the link, pinch a loop with your fingers, round 3 times, up through the loop in your fingers to form another loop, round 3 times, out, pull tight, not forgetting to moisten the knot, and trim the tagline. To tighten the knot, I like to use some round nose pliers, because I find I can hold the swivel or tie the swivel in behind and give it a good tug. So now we've got that top link tied on. Now to feed on some of the other bits. So the first thing on is the pulley. This is a proper pulley. It's quite a wide top, so it doesn't sort of bend the line too much. It's also got a lead clip built in. Then a couple of beads. These particular beads are quite soft, so they act a bit like rubber beads, and it acts as a buffer on the knot at the end of this trace. So at the end of the trace we tie a swivel, and no surprise here, it's the same knot as we tied last time. So through the swivel, pinch a loop, wrap round 3 times, up through the loop between your fingers to form another loop, and then up through that loop 3 times, moisten, pull tight, clip the tag end off. And there we have the trace part of the rig complete. What I'll do is I'll clip a lead on, and you'll notice I'm careful about which way the lead clips on, because of the way the link part of the pulley bead is. You get it on the wrong way around, you run the risk of the hook catching when it comes unclipped. So try and make sure that it's clipped on the way I've just shown. So next part is the snood. So we start by tying the end of the snood line to the swivel, and it's the same knot again. So through the swivel, form a loop, round 3 times, bring it back up through the loop in your fingers to form another loop, up through that loop, round 3 times, moistened, pull tight, and snip the tag end. One of the advantages of this rig is that it's not particularly fussy over the length of the snood. Because of the way it goes up over the top clip and back down and uses a pulley, if you lose your hook, gets snagged and snaps off, or if you want to actually change your hook for a different size while fishing, you can just snip that snood and tie the new hook on. Because of the way the pulley and it goes over the top, it sort of self-adjusts and it still clips down great. So what I'll do now is I'll hang the lead over the edge of the table while holding the top of the trace to get a bit of tension in it. And then I'll run the snood line up over the link at the top, the bit that sticks out, hook, back down, and then I'll cut it just about at the top of the lead. Next step is to take the snood, take the silicone tube in and thread that on. Now the tubing we threaded all the way down and over the swivel, and this helps kick the snood out when it's unclipped, hits the water, and also helps it not to tangle with the grippers on the lead. And the reason I like to use these barrel swivels is because they got straight sides, so the silicone tubing goes over quite neatly. So our next step is to add the hooks. I'm using a pennel hook on this rig. Don't need to, but if you're using a pennel hook with an angled eye on it, don't forget to go in from the front, sort of the hook side, and then towards the back, then down, just so it hangs right. So circle it 3 times and that'll hold that in place. This rig you could also just have a single hook and perhaps a sequin and a stop. As I say, I tend to use this for cod fishing, and I like to have big baits, hence the pennel. Then finally the last hook, the bottom hook, and we're using the same knot again. So through the eye of the hook, form a small loop, round 3 times, up through that loop to form another loop, through that 3 times, moisten, tighten, and nip off the tag end. On the hook side, I tend to leave sort of 3 mil of the tag end sticking out. I feel it sort of holds worms on just that little bit better. And to just show you how well this works in slow motion, I've clipped down the rig, put it under tension, and at 1/10 the speed I'm going to release it, and you can see how fast that is kicked out and off. And here we have the finished rig. Have to hang it on my wall just to get a full picture of it. Here we have it clipped down, lead clipped on the right way, pedal hook in the opposite direction to the main hook, always recommended, and then as you can see at the top how it hooks over that link. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Do like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks, bye.